All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's have an honest conversation about Eastwood. This map was crowned the king of Battlefield 6 before the game even launched. I remember when screenshots came out of this map and people data mined and found that the map was bigger than the rest of the Battlefield 6 map pool. Everybody was about it. It's going to bring that old school Battlefield feeling to the game. At least that's what everybody thought. You're going to have helis, you're going to have tanks, you're going to have all of the stuff. It's going to be spread out enough for infantry to be successful. It's also going to be spread out enough where tanks are going to have survivability. And then, in theory, because it's a bigger map, the helis should have a much easier time surviving. None of that is really true at all. And I just want to talk about what exactly went wrong here because it's big, right? That's what people wanted. How do you mess up the map design that much, though? For starters, the spawn areas for each team are just massive. That's a theme in this game. They are just, for no reason, way too big. Each side, both NATO and Pax Armada, have two starter flags. NATO has A and B. These are like little towns, little neighborhoods, I should say. And the Pax Armada side, one is like a villa or something like that, and then D is like a some sort of monument. No cover on it really at all. Then you have large areas of space, some roads. It's honestly more interesting than some of the other maps like Blackwell Fields, for example. And C is a massive like middle building, like almost like a hotel vibe or something like that. It's cool. It's different. I love how it looks aesthetically. It is a very nice change of pace from maps like Sobek City, like Mirak Valley, even Firestorm. But the map design itself, how it flows, is arguably some of the worst in the game. I would say it's worse than Blackwell Fields in the 6 hours that I've played of it. Starting with just the buildings in general, this is a common theme in Battlefield 6. The buildings just they crumble 2 seconds into the game. In the 3 out of the 4 games that I played of Conquest, running out to A or E, particularly A, the whole building is destroyed by the time you cap the first time. I'm talking 20 seconds into the game, A is completely destroyed. You gotta fix that, Battlefield Studios. That is not good. I destructibility is absolutely a hallmark of Battlefield. But you need to go back to like Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, where even 2042, the whole building doesn't need to crumble to be cool. And if it does crumble, put it on a timer. Have it completely go down with like 200 tickets left in the match. Instead, your assets that you place down to make the map enjoyable, to make it play the way you want it to, they're gone. So you have a completely different dynamic. And this is not even 100 tickets into the game. That's the first issue. And that happens all over the map. That happens all over Battlefield 6. The time to kill is something that I have been complaining about for a long time. Like, for a long time, I should say. The time to kill is something I've been complaining about since this game has come out. It is too fast for a Battlefield game. Anytime you have any long range fights, you die in a nanosecond. There is no reaction. And that happens on this map. And this map is the worst for people crouching and sitting in corners or hiding up in like a bush. If you get shot anywhere outside your periphery, you are dead. You are dead. If that player has played a first person shooter before, you're dead. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's more of a game fault than the map fault. When we move on to tanks, the vehicle gameplay, because 70% of the enemy team is running engineer, you will die in an instant. And it's almost worse on this big map because everybody is so spread out. There's too many targets for you to aim at, and they all have 5 RPGs now. Good luck. And that isn't even the worst issue. I actually think that the 3 tanks per side is perfect. It is great for this size. It's what Firestorm should have. It's great. The helis are a problem. I don't know if Battlefield Studios wanted the helicopters to be this big of a glass cannon or this unenjoyable to play, but they just shouldn't even be in the game. Why are helicopters in the game? And why, for that matter, are they much more enjoyable and have a much higher survivability on smaller maps like Manhattan Bridge or Sobek City than they do on this map? Why is the skybox 30 meters? Why is it 100 feet? You can't get away from anything. And if you get remotely close to that skybox, you lose control, you move like a snail, and you die to an RPG. I think that this is the worst heli map in the game. Blackwell Fields is better than this, and the reason why is because similar to this map's design, the far side of the map has mountain range, like a little mountain range that in theory you could hide behind. But on Eastwood, the out of bounds is so tight you can't even utilize that. You can't utilize it at all. So you can get locked onto from anywhere on the map. At least on Blackwell Fields, that mountain range on the far side of the map, you can hide behind. Like the enemy, they can't kill you when you get behind that, and it's great. It gives you survivability, something that this game is lacking. And there's no vertical buildings, there's no vertical change in the terrain itself. As a matter of fact, the only verticality of terrain on the actual playable map is between E and D coming out of the Pax Armada spawn. There is a mound that the AA tank sits on every time and can lock onto the helis from anywhere. Who thought that was a good idea? Who thought? And you saw Blackwell Fields. You saw how bad it is. Why would you not remove that? Why is that a thing? Or what, like, who, when designing this map, thinks that a spot on the map that can see everything is a good idea? I've even seen tanks sitting on that mound, shooting all the way to B. And I'm gonna play a clip right now of me in the attack heli. I'm hovering just around B, maybe a little bit further down between B and C. And there's an AA tank and a regular tank with a tow missile sitting on that mound. I'm getting locked onto by the AA, and this tank is shooting tow missiles at me. And I don't know if this is a new change to the game or not. I have never seen a tank shoot tow missiles so fast. It probably has something to do with the fact that this is a bigger map. So because it takes the tow missile so much longer to reach me, it just feels like he's shooting them quick. He is shooting tow missiles, and before that one even goes past me, he's shooting another one. Four of them before he finally gets me. And they're like, what are you supposed to do as a heli pilot? They're completely unviable, and I know a lot of people like that. A lot of COD kids, a lot of sweaty kids, they like that because they don't want helis coming by and killing them. But it's a part of Battlefield, right? This is what we wanted with a bigger map. We wanted all the vehicles. We want everything to be viable. And the current state of Battlefield 6 is so bad that I'm genuinely scared that Battlefield Studios is going to kill Battlefield 6 the same way that DICE killed Battlefield 2042. Like, we're headed that way. The honeymoon phase is ending. Like, we're not thinking, like, when this game came out, everybody was like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. This is so much fun. It's great. But is it though? I'm not sure that it's any good. I'm not sure it's better than 2042. The end state of 2042 was actually fun. Like, it was actually playable. Particularly Breakthrough was done perfectly on that game. And for whatever reason, they're just completely missing. Conquest is all right sometimes if you only play infantry. I had I've had some good times on Eastwood so far in Conquest, only as infantry. The heli is unusable, and the tanks, they're fine. I'm I'm just not sure like how this happened. This map doesn't play well on Conquest, for the most part. It doesn't play well on Breakthrough at all. I would highly recommend that you never touch Breakthrough on this map. If you're the attacking team, good luck. Like, it's an absolute shit show. And Breakthrough's like that across multiple maps. Like Mirak Valley for, starters. That might be the worst experience I've ever had on a first person shooter. But it's really just as bad on Eastwood. I mean, those are your two key core maps or key modes, and it's unplayable. Like, I will not be playing Eastwood. Eastwood, Murex Valley, and Firestorm. I just don't queue any of them. And somebody who hears that's gonna be like, "That's Battlefield. Like, of course you're taking out the big maps." I didn't have this issue on 2042. 2042 was great. Battlefield 4 is great. Battlefield 1, the maps massive, just a fantastic time. But the way that they have made this game, those maps are unplayable, even as infantry. The helis are specifically unplayable, but even as infantry, you like just getting shredded from 100 meters away by an SMG because time to kill is the quickest it's ever been in a Battlefield game. Like, it just doesn't work. Big maps don't work. Why I enjoy the smaller maps, because everything's kind of backwards. You would think the bigger maps would have more survivability. You would, have a slower kind of gameplay feel. It's just it's not there, and I think it comes down to map design, and it also comes down to time to kill. So I'm praying that Battlefield Studios does something quick to fix this, because the player count, of course, day one, what was it? It peaked at like 750,000 players, current players, and of course it's trickling down. It was 400, then it was 300. Last week it was 220, and now this week we're getting 150, and it's because they're putting out dog crap. They need to hit, and they need to do it now. They need to make fixes now, and they're too slow to adjust. They're too slow to make changes, and it's killing the game. So that's how I feel. Have a good day. Remember to like and subscribe.